There's a voice in your head that shows up every time you're sitting at your desk watching charts. It whispers, you should be doing something. You should be in a trade. You can't just sit here and do nothing. You're wasting time. And that voice has cost you more money than every bad strategy you've ever tried combined. This isn't about discipline. It's not about willpower. There's an actual psychological mechanism forcing you to trade when nothing is there. And once you understand what it is and why it happens, you can finally break free from it. And at the very end, I'll show you the one simple rule that kills this voice completely. Here's what's actually happening. You opened your trading platform because you wanted to trade. Your brain registered that intention. Now you're sitting there, you've been watching for 20 minutes, no setups, nothing clean, nothing that matches your criteria, but your brain is getting uncomfortable because you came here to do something and you're not doing it. Think about it like going to the gym. You drove there, changed into workout clothes, you're standing in the gym, but all the equipment is taken. You can't just leave. You drove all this way, you got ready, so you start doing random exercises you don't need just because you feel like you have to do something. That's what forcing trades is. You're not trading because you see an opportunity. You're trading because you showed up and your brain thinks showing up means you have to do something. This is called action bias. Your brain is wired to prefer action over inaction, even when inaction is the correct choice. Sitting still, watching nothing happen, feels like failure. Feels like you're not really trading. Feels like you're wasting your time. But here's the truth. The best traders spend most of their time doing nothing. They show up, they watch. If nothing appears, they close their platform and leave. They don't force anything. They don't manufacture setups. They accept that today wasn't the day and they move on. This ability to do nothing is what separates profitable traders from everyone else. Let me show you what forcing trades actually costs. First, there's the obvious cost. You lose money on trades that were never real setups. You're taking random entries hoping they work out. They don't work out because they weren't based on your actual strategy. You're gambling and calling it trading. But there's a deeper cost nobody talks about. Every time you force a trade, you're training your brain that your rules don't matter. You're teaching yourself that it's okay to take trades that aren't your setup. You're eroding your own discipline. After 6 months of forcing trades, your brain no longer knows what your actual strategy is. You've trained yourself to trade randomly. This is why traders who force trades can't get consistent, even when they find a good strategy, because their brain has been trained that rules are optional, that taking action matters more than taking the right action. You've built a habit of trading for the sake of trading, and now you can't stop. I used to do this constantly. I'd sit down, planning to trade my strategy. 30 minutes would pass with no setups. I'd get bored. I'd start looking for reasons to enter. I'd tell myself, this kind of looks like my setup. I'd trade it, lose, and then feel terrible because I knew I broke my rules. This cycle repeated for months until I figured out what was actually going on. Before I tell you the one rule that completely eliminated my need to force trades, make sure to hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Here's the rule that changed everything. Decide before you sit down how many trades you're allowed to take today. Not how many you want to take, how many you're allowed to take maximum. For me, it's 3. I can take up to 3 trades per day. If I take 3 trades, I'm done, regardless of whether they won or lost. If I sit for 3 hours and my setup doesn't appear 3 times, I take 0 trades and I'm done. This rule does something powerful. It removes the pressure to trade. Before I had this rule, every minute I sat there without trading felt like wasted time. Now, if I sit for 2 hours and see nothing, I didn't waste anything because I still have 3 trades available. I'm not behind, I'm not failing, I'm just waiting. But here's the real magic. When you limit yourself to 3 trades maximum, you become incredibly selective. You can't waste a trade slot on a marginal setup because you might need that slot for a perfect setup later. You start waiting for only the cleanest entries because you know you can't just trade again if this one doesn't work. This scarcity creates discipline.
Before, when trades were unlimited, you'd take anything that kinda looked right because you could always take another trade. Now, when trades are limited to 3, you guard those 3 slots like they're precious, because they are. You only get 3 chances to execute your strategy perfectly. Here's what happened when I implemented this. First week, I took 3 trades per day. All 3 matched my criteria exactly because I couldn't waste a slot. Second week, I only took 6 trades total across 5 days because my setup only appeared 6 times. Before, I would have forced 15 trades that week. Third week, I took 4 trades total, and 3 of them won because I was only taking perfect setups. My win rate jumped, not because my strategy improved, but because I stopped taking trades that weren't my strategy. The rule created the discipline I couldn't create through willpower. I wasn't fighting the urge to trade anymore. The structure was doing it for me. So here's what you do tomorrow. Before you open your platform, decide your maximum number of trades for the day. I recommend 3. Write it down. Once you hit that number, you're done, even if the best setup of your life appears. This rule will feel restrictive at first. Sit with that discomfort. What you'll discover is you stop forcing trades immediately because you can't afford to waste your limited slots. You become selective by design, not by discipline. And selective trading is profitable trading.